Everybody, welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. As you can see, I have my brother like no other, Mr. Larry Banks, in the building. Uh, just as you know, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays we have our workout time, and we just kind of chopping it up about the struggles of just getting up this morning. And I'm glad I wasn't on my own because I was contemplating not showing up, but I'm glad I did for two reasons. One, so Larry wouldn't talk junk, and two, Kaneem showed up, and I know he would have definitely talked junk. I wasn't there, so I made sure I came into place. And so um, Kadeem had said something that really made me think. He said, "Man, just showing up and being consistent, just showing." He said, "Man, I gotta come on here and be consistent." Of course, he kind of said the same things I was just saying. He said, "I don't want AD talking junk about me, so I'm here." Um,
Lots of
it's real,
testosterone.
right, right. I gotta go, man. I gotta go. um, Lisa, good morning, Lisa. Mama Corey, great morning to you. Morning, Jeff. Thank you for rocking with us.
We
So
missed you this morning, Jeff. We missed you this morning.
I know we're still looking for you, Jeff. We got a spot for you. We got a spot just for you, my brother. Just for you. Just one time. One time. You might come to two, three. Just 30 minutes. Matter of fact, it's like 20 minutes almost. 20, 21, 22 minutes. It's not even a hard 30. Just show your face in the place. And I know it's early. We're messing with you, but if you could make it, you could make it. We'd love to see you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he said something about just showing up and being consistent, and I feel like he said I was in the back.
I thought that was you. There was a glow behind us. Yeah.
um, so just being consistent, showing up, and I think, I mean, it says a lot because what I realize, um, it does two things. Your consistency helps show you that you can stay at something even when it gets challenging, even when it gets tough, um, and being there, to make it happen, especially if it's not if money's not the pushing force. You go to work, you do your job because I gotta get paid. I don't want to get fired. you know, in certain respects, that's easy. Um, but when you're doing something that there's no immediate reward, you know, you don't know what you're gonna get out of it. Um, that's where it becomes challenging. And I think about Brothers of Legacy. I think about some of the things I pushed to be consistent at that I couldn't hold on to, because you lose the reason why you started. You get off track, off focus, or discouraged, and you can lose that pattern of consistency. And the one thing I do want to say, people notice consistency though. Like, wow, you still doing that thing? Like, yeah, I'm still here, I'm still at it. And I think it helps for your relationships as well. Listen, the one thing I can say about this brother, he consistent. you know, and for me, even when it comes to a job, it comes to an opportunity, I'm like, listen, I don't know how great he is, but I'll tell you one thing, he always show up. like there, and that's a huge quality. Like they show up, they're there. No matter what, they're there. Um, and it means something, to other people as well. For you, Larry, like what what are some of your ways that push you to be consistent? Like, with the workout, like let me just full disclosure, and he'll probably mention it. This brother does the workout with us, but prior to that, he works out on his own. So like he has leg day, arm day, and then he comes into it with us and still pushing. I'm like, man, first time he came, he was like, all right, I just came from my workout. Wait, you just came from your workout? So and what pushes you to be consistent? Let's talk about that. And even in weight training and things of that nature, what pushes you to be consistent?
So I guess to start, like like in the workout, just this is go into the workout. The way we start the workout in the warm ups, and as
Right.
we're jumping up and down and getting and just doing that light jog,
Excuse me.
I say to everybody to begin to set an intention, right?
Right.
Set an
Right.
intention, and then when we're done, I say, hey, remind yourself that intention that you said earlier, right?
Right.
And that's what kind of like, to answer your question, kind of motivates me more so. Like, I set a goal. I
Hmm.
set a goal, or I have an idea of what my end game is going to be,
Right.
and I know what it takes to get to that end game. So to get to that point, I know I have to start to put the work in to
Hmm.
get there. And then the way and the way it always starts from your day one,
Right.
right?
Right.
You had that day, one.
Right.
And then after you get through day one, you look back and go,
Right.
that wasn't so bad, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
then
Yeah.
it's day two, right? And then he's like, okay. And then what you do have to do along with it, and I might be jumping the gun a little bit here, but is set
Mm.
have a realistic plan to
Okay.
go towards your goal, right?
Why?
You know,
Yeah.
some people say, yeah, I want to do this every day, right? It's not just what exercise, like prayer life, the way you want
Right.
to eat, or all this stuff. Like,
Right.
oh yeah, I want to do this every day.
Right.
And then by day 3, you're like, yeah, I can take a break,
I get
right?
right. Right.
You ever take a break, and then when you take that break from it, the day 4,
Right.
you're like, I can do it again. And then next thing you know, you end up backtracking. So have a realistic plan to get
Right.
to your goal. So like, and then like with the workouts here, I was like Monday, Wednesday, Friday,
Right.
right? But before prior, it was an everyday thing. It was Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. and noon,
Right.
and I was there, right?
Right.
But now I know what I'm still in my recovery phase. So now I was like,
Yes.
hey, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we're gonna do the pre beginner
Right.
workout, right?
Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
and that way it's like, okay, I'm not like overbooking myself. I'm not overcommitting. We can do
Right.
3 days. And a couple of times, I can tell you right now, I've been thinking, hey, I need to go ahead and go do the full week. And I'm like, no, no, I have to take a step back, right? And now
Right.
we want to keep it this way. And we're
Right.
already in week 4. This is week 4 already. I
Right.
feel
Right.
good, right? See
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we did it together.
Right.
So then how do I do the gym workout along with
Right.
this workout? Getting like, okay, wow, you're that committed. You're doing that in here.
Right.
It's two things here with it. The first one is really the second one is I'm doing the workout here to get myself hype,
Right.
mentally ready to go ahead and perform for you guys. If I can't perform in the gym, then I probably won't be able to perform that well with you guys. But with that, the number one journey is my missus. Um,
Right.
we're on a
Yeah.
fitness journey together,
Yeah.
and
That's big. That's big.
right, and it's our journey. So I go to the gym when she's ready to go to the gym, and
Right.
we've been setting a realistic schedule.
Right.
And it's what I'm saying. And we set a realistic schedule, and then we just try to stick to that schedule and go ahead and conquer it together. When she's
Yeah.
ready, when she goes to the gym, I go to the gym, and then we do it. So we have plans for we have a goal for what we want to get to, that we desire to be
Right.
at, physically, aesthetically, all that good stuff. And we know it's not going to be this year. We got 2, 3, 4, 5 year plan, but we know if we
Right.
remain consistent.
Consistent. Right. Gotcha.
If we
Gotcha.
and then it's that the other big word for me is accountability,
Right. Accountability.
right?
Definitely.
Like, you're my accountability partner right now with Live Core Fitness. I hope you know this. So
Appreciate it.
you helped me. Like,
Yeah.
it was you and my brother's fiance,
Okay.
and actually, and one other workout. You're gonna meet Brooke, but good morning, Mr. McCory. How you doing there, sir? We they like, as I was recovering from my stroke, trying to get my body right. They're
Right.
hitting me. They're messaging me saying, "Hey, we know you can't do it, but if you give us the exercise, we want to do it with we would do it and just let you just sit there and watch us. And I just couldn't do it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get myself right so that I can do it with you guys. So then, so being here, so I know if I don't show up, if I'm not there early, that you guys want to rag on me. So hey, Larry, what's going on, man? I ain't wasting my time, right? So you know, having things and set each other accountable, right? You say, okay, and then like same for you. You're like, yeah, I didn't want to get up this morning or whatever, but you know, here and we compared notes,
right?
We both didn't want to get out that bed this morning, right?
Right.
You know, and for me, I said I wasn't tired, you know, because you know if I was tired, I'm going straight to the hospital. I'm not even going to play it around.
I got you. I'm with you.
For me, it was hey. We both didn't want to get up. We was like, yeah, today's a day that we could take a break. But we got through it. And like you said, 20 minutes. And when I stood in front of that camera and I was looking at the clock and I'm like, wait up, it's 7 o'clock. I didn't hear any Zoom dings yet. Am I going to be by myself? And then the thought came in my head. I'm already dressed. The thought was in my head. And it was like, oh, I guess I'm getting a break today. I'm going to go back to bed. But then the guy right here was like, yeah, what you want to do is you're going to hit record on the Zoom. You're going to do the workout. You're going to encourage yourself. You're going to like make sure you get it on tape and say, you guys weren't here. I'm here putting this work in. Matter of fact, I'm going to do the workout twice, you know, or 3 times, or how many boxes we had. I want to do it for everybody so I can rub it in. And then that's that testosterone piece. Like, yeah, we get you guys. Yeah. So, but yeah, this accountability. So for me, is making sure I'm accountable. And I have somebody to hold me accountable if I say I want to do something, and then setting a goal with a realistic plan.
There you go.
There we go. So
I think that's the big one. And good morning, Pastor.
Morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Sorry I'm late.
It's all good.
But you here, so we can't talk about you.
Definitely. I think that setting a realistic goal is a big thing. Because you start off, you get too excited, like especially after the first workout, like that was good. I'm gonna do this every day, every day.
Let's
go.
We're talking about working out.
You're hyped up, you know, and that goes for a lot of like even learning certain things. Like, you know what, I'm gonna be on this thing every day, every day. You know, especially when you finish, you feel like I could do this every day. You know, until the next day comes, and you're like, I need a minute. Like this is a lot. This is a lot. You know. And you know, like, or even like having if you have like a long one of those 1 hour worship sessions, and you're like, oh, that was awesome. Tomorrow it's going down. Me and God, it's going down. You know, like, and you're like, I'm gonna get up the same time, 5 a.m. Me and the Lord, you know. You look up, it's 7 o'clock. You're like, dang, what happened? What happened? You know, and I think sometimes it's that excitement. You know, it's that excitement, like great building sessions, and you want to create something more for your life, but it's like creating that realistic expectation, creating that realistic discipline, to maintain. Like, you know, for me, the first time I actually got a gym membership, I've always heard about people with gym memberships that didn't go. You know, I've always, and I was like, I don't want to be that dude. So I challenged myself. I'm like, let me work out at home. If I could do that for a month, you know, like if I can get into the mental discipline of just actually doing something, you know, then I know I can go to the gym, you know, take the time, and was like Ryan would say, just get in the car, get to the parking lot,
get out, time, man,
and go in the gym. Like,
see, my thing is, I'm lazy. I think about how long it takes. You got to get up, you got to get dressed. You know, working out at home, you can roll over out of bed, say your prayers, and get it going.
Right.
You know, I ain't got to go nowhere. So
Right. Yeah.
I don't
And-
know.
that's a lot of work going to the gym, man.
I mean, it can
yeah.
be.
And then the other thing here is, don't if you, let's say you end up missing something, don't be down on yourself, right? Don't overjudge yourself, because that's what ends up happening. Or somebody in your circle goes, oh well, you missed that day or whatever, and don't take it the wrong way. Like, you go, all right, it's okay. What caused me to miss it? What miss doing it? And like the prayer, like, okay, I didn't get out of my bed to go to my prayer closet. Next time, I'll just stay on my back in the bed, and me and the Lord is going to have to duke it out on the bed. I'm going to talk to him on my back. It might be a little bit of Z's, B's, but I'm gonna make sure I communicate, or I'm going to, next time I'm going to get to the gym, I want to put on this outfit that I like to wear. I want to wear that shirt that makes me look svelte. Like, for me, it's Under Armour. Under Armour. It's, for some reason, it makes me look a little more swollen than I really am. I'm swollen in other ways. But you got to find things, okay, to help motivate and encourage you.
Hey, good morning,
make sure you don't miss. I want I was about to say something about how the women dress when they go to the gym. I think they be having their outfits like
they coordinate. They
coordinated. I'm like, okay, I'm black, gray, and white. That's all you're gonna get from
me. That's it. Standard black, gray.
But yeah, but have the shoes, have the bag packed if you go into the gym. Like, whatever it is, do the preparation so that the next time you go.
He said, "Oh, my shoes make me look swollen."
There we go. Nice. But like people say, hey, I want to eat a certain way, right. and then again, that day three, they doing Denzel from Flight, tapping the lips, like, you know what, I can go ahead and have this. But there's that meal prep. How do you meal prep? You pick what you want to eat early, and you make those meals for the entire week, and then that helps make sure you hold yourself accountable, and you keep that habit going. So, but yeah,
we'll get into that part. That's a little bit of a struggle for me. A little bit of a struggle. He says, right, yeah, that's for sure. He said it doesn't happen overnight. That's for sure. I think it's just that it's all like a lot of things.
It took patience for her.
It took patience. Put your business out there, Miss Banks. Put your business out there. I think the patience too. Let's see. Just throw this out there. Lisa said, yes, Jeff, BOL is one of the best ways to start the day. That's what I'm talking about right there. I just
agreed.
I figured that. Yes. I said your patience, not my patience. Good stuff. So, Ryan, what about you? Like, how do you discipline yourself? Them Twix calling my name. I feel you, Jeff. I feel you.
And twins.
I feel, which one, the left or the right? I agree, Lisa. Definitely appreciate you, Mama Corey. So yeah, so how do you set intention for certain disciplines that you try to stick to throughout your life? How do you stick to certain things, or is there anything particular? Or do you? Is it for me, right? So I'll just say, because you kind of pondering a little bit. What I think it's the accountability. Like I said, getting up with Larry. I told him, I think before we came on, I was like, if you had like a pre-recorded, or it was some junk where it was like a whole bunch of people, and I ain't really have to turn my camera on, like it. And I probably this morning I might not have made it, but the fact that it's not a huge number of people when I come on, AD in the building, like I know they're gonna miss me. They're not gonna see me, and then Kaneem, he gonna be there, and I'm not there. I know I'm gonna get called out. So it's all these things going. I was like, I gotta get up. I gotta at least, it's one of those. I gotta at least show up. we'll figure out how deep we're gonna do the workout, but I at least got to show up. I got to show my face. I'm here. Oh, so it's that accountability piece, especially now. It's more the accountability for you. What is it that pushes you to be consistent at certain things or whatever you're trying to change?
Just the feeling of knowing that I did it again.
That's good. That's good.
Got it done
sense
again.
Sense of
What I
accomplishment.
used to say, one more again. That's what it is. I mean, I liken it, something different for me, like to Larry's point, working out. It's not something that I was doing. I started exercising in February.
All right.
And that's when I learned, that old adage, it takes 21 days to start a habit.
Right.
But it takes 66 days to have a better chance of keeping it.
Right.
Yeah.
You can start one in 21 days, but can you maintain it?
Right.
Right. And so that's what it was for me. And what happened is one day I woke up and my body looked different.
Right.
And then I was like, whoa, okay. And then somebody in my family said something to me.
Okay. That's
right?
good.
Yeah.
Because that's hype. That right there is like, oh yeah. High five, high five.
Yeah.
Daughters don't tell their dads anything except you have a dad bod.
Right.
Right. So for one of my daughters to say, "Dad, you looking good."
Okay.
What?
Right.
Let me go look in the mirror. Yeah, I do. It's a motivator, right? I think the compliments are great, but for me, it's looking in the mirror at yourself and saying, "Man, I did it again."
Right.
Man, you on a roll. All right, bro, do your thing. It's that, like, I think somebody put in a David, encouraging yourself in the Lord. I had to start encouraging myself because I realized I couldn't live off of other people's encouragement.
Right.
I couldn't survive off of that. It's great. It helps. It greatly enhances and motivates you. But what happens if no one says anything?
Right.
What do you do then?
So with that right there, so one thing, like, don't let the naysayers, turn you off, because like I've been doing the Live Core Fitness since 2020, and some people are like, I don't know how you keep doing that. Like, hey, I'm getting something out of this, and I'm just sharing what I'm doing with everybody else. But the other thing is the compliments. Sometimes you got to make sure the compliments don't mislead you or sway you. Because here you go, you walking around, you decide to start wearing that extra medium shirt because somebody said, "Hey, you're looking good" and stuff, and then you're like, "Oh, I don't need to do it as frequently as I was doing it before. I can just take a step back and just do maybe once a week." But remember, that's when you want to remind yourself of your intention, remind yourself what your goal was, so that, like you were just saying, sometimes you have to encourage yourself. You keep encouraging yourself so that you keep on going and executing.
Watch this, Larry. How about this one? How about the quick 10-minute workout before you leave the house to make you look swole?
Oh, come on! Like in college, we had to do a fashion show when we had we're more revealing gear. We was in the back of the dressing room. We all doing them push-ups. Like, all right, we gotta make sure we get that pump going.
Yeah, it's bad. But that's what the compliments will do. The compliments will cause you, if you misunderstand, the compliments will cause you to slack up, right? And then before you go in front of people, you want to act like you're doing something.
Right.
That's what it is. Yeah. And what I've learned is after about an hour, you shrink back to your normal size. and you haven't made it home yet.
Right.
And then that medium begins to look like a large again.
So y'all lucky I can't comment with pictures so y'all can see Larry's fashion show pics.
Yeah. But that's what it is, and it's with anything, knowledge, information. You can memorize something for 20 minutes, but do you really know it? You know,
right.
You know, you can quote scripture, but what is the application?
Right.
You know, if you're not walking this thing out, if you're not living it, if it's not a lifestyle for you,
right,
who you fooling?
Right. That's true.
That's the thing for me. I want to, like, when again I go back to the working out because that's the most recent thing for me.
Yeah.
I want to wake up in the morning and before I work out, look like I've been working out.
Right.
Okay.
That's me. I want to know. I want to see a difference. So that I want to get, like, I had to get to the point to where if I skipped a day, if I skipped a week, I still look like I was working out.
Right.
That's what I was trying to get to. And I got there, but now I want to get to another level.
Right.
You know, and for me, it's not about what people see in me. It's about how I feel internally. You know, it's my breathing. It's when I go to the doctor and I get a good report. You know, because what I've learned is not just about having muscles or physique. It's about having your blood pressure right. It's about having your body right. It's about having your doctor say things are going well inside.
That's big.
For you. And that's the stuff that motivated me. I was going to my doctor and I was like, oh, wait, what?
Right.
Oh, huh? Oh, okay. Right. And then I'm coming home with the attitude, man, I got to be here for my children. I want to be around, you know? Right. So that's what motivates me. And then with my walk, you know, other things like the word of God, you know, I haven't been preaching on Sunday in months.
Yeah.
So how much time are you actually spending in your word when you don't have to preach on Sunday?
Right.
Because before, your motivation is you had to bring a word. You had to bring a word.
You had to be in it. You had to be in it.
You got to bring that fire.
Yeah, you got Bible study coming. You got to bring, you know, and the question is, do your habits change because you're not preaching? Right. Remember what got you to that point. And those are the things that I think about because no matter what comes or goes in my life, people are always going to see you in a lot of cases for what you've done, what you're doing.
Right.
You know, and so because I carried that label, I take pride in the fact that I do know the word. I take pride in the fact that it's a lifestyle for me. I take pride in the fact that you can catch me any day, right? Yeah. And I'll take off preaching because this is what I do. You know, it's who I am. So it's those types of things, man. Eating right. You know, we can. I was having this conversation, Larry. You said this earlier about the inconsistent days and not being too hard on yourself. My daughter, Brienne, has been working out like nobody's business over the last probably 6 or 7 months. And started carving out a little six pack in her. I'm like, okay. Brienne has always been a soft and plushy girl. You know?
That's so
to see her thighs and see definition in her body and stuff, man, it's just blowing me away. And so she started feeling bad about having not worked out. And I told her, I said, sweetie, when you were sending us pictures of yourself, I was in a slump.
Right.
I wasn't consistent at the time. I said, and when I saw your pictures, it kicked me into gear.
Right.
I got like, because it was like 2 weeks and I hadn't done much of anything. I had gone from 3 days a week to maybe once a week for a couple of weeks because I got busy at work. And my daughter was sending me pictures. I'm like, oh, I got to get back on this, you know. And it became, it became fun, you know. And I realized you can't slack up. Yeah. But it's those types of things, not being too hard on yourself. And so what happened is when I told her that about what she did for me telling her that did something for her.
Right. There you go. Ignited that fire.
Yeah. And so that's the great part. And you're right. You can't be too hard on yourself, man, because here's what I've learned, you know, for those who cook regularly, I'll bet you there's days you don't feel like cooking and you don't cook. Right. Somebody might be disappointed that you didn't cook, but they don't cut you off because you didn't cook. You order a pizza.
She wanted to order in. She wanted to cut me off though, but you know, I'm not putting nobody out there.
But think about this: your relationship with God. You know, we make it a point to talk to God every day. But you wake up and you start moving and realize you didn't say your prayers. Does God cut you off? No, because you have relationship. You know.
Yeah,
you just start up a conversation. Look, oh, I haven't spoken to you today. Lord, forgive me. There's no forgiveness involved. Life happens. Just keep the communication. True. Start it back up. Pick it back up. Pick up where you left off. What I tell people is, don't make the mistake of thinking you have to make up for lost time.
Right. Yeah. That's right there though. That's a big one right there.
Yeah, because guilt will have you thinking that you got to make up for lost time, and then you burn out and you do too much.
Exactly.
And so just pick up.
It's
Where
like
you
now I
left
got to
off.
double up.
Keep it
I
moving.
got to work out 2 times a day, every day, to make up for the. It's where we in June. It's June. I'm supposed to start in January. I got to double up. I got to double up.
Yeah, ain't no such
Yeah.
thing. Don't double up.
It's
Just pick it back up.
to get to that lifestyle. Like you want to establish a habit. How does a habit happen? Where you come up with something that you can do repeatedly, and
Right.
that you can. I said you can do repeatedly, not what you should do repeatedly. What you can do repeatedly, right? Do that, and then after a while, you're like you're doing it. You're on autopilot, you know,
Right.
or cruise control.
Right.
Say with the car, right? And like so, like you know, when it goes down to being consistent with prayer life, right? So I'm like, okay, I do it on my knees, or I setting time aside, and then it wasn't happening like every day, and I was like, dang, and then all of a sudden it was maybe not even happening every week, right? But then I was like, all right. But then I start to remember, hey, like throughout the day, I'm just like, Lord, what should I do here? Like, you know, I'm communicating with him on a regular. It's a relationship, you know. We don't go to our you know, like with our parents and everything. We don't. I just lost where I was trying to go with that.
It's all good
thing there. but still, it's like you know, the way you know will talk to God, you know, can be different ways. Prayer is talking to him, you know, set that time, but you can also just say something to him throughout the day, you know. And I'm realizing, hey, I am communing, and I may say, hey, all right, Lord, what am I supposed to do with this, or what is your plan for me right now? Like, why did this just happen? You know,
right?
And just keep on going, and then you know a sign will happen, and then something will happen. Like, okay, boom, you know, I'm like, hey, what should I do regarding, you know, like I want to do the photo booth thing. You know, I want to when my son graduated, when a photo booth thing happens, I want to make the photo booth my main support. Right? I want to early retire. Right. So here it goes. And now I'm like, I have an opportunity now, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of happening right now. Right. But I need to make sure I set these goals. And I was like, all right, what's happening here? And then next, you know, he started throwing a bunch of engagements at me. And I'm like, okay, whoa, where did this happen? But I asked for this, right? I asked for this. And it happened from just communing, not always praying. Did she put me out there?
No, she said it doesn't have to look a certain way. The word says pray without ceasing. So it's that daily communication. And here's the thing. The Bible says young men ought to always pray and not faint, right?
Right.
So my word is I always pray sometimes.
I faint a lot.
Right? I pray consistently sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? The reality is there's levels to this.
Yeah.
My consistency is not your consistency.
Right.
Right? My cadence, everyone has a different cadence.
Right.
But everyone can be consistent.
Right.
What you do daily, I might do weekly, and we have the same benefits.
Yep. True.
So whose measurement are we grading ourselves on?
Right.
There you go.
True. That's why I love the scripture when it says working out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You got to work this thing out yourself. You know, you cannot be governed by other people's definition of consistency.
Right. That's a big one.
You have to do what works for you.
Right.
You have to set your goals, achieve your goals, accomplish your goals. And that way you won't get distracted or disrupted by someone else's opinion.
Yeah.
Someone else's perspective. That's the reality. And I think that's where we make our mistakes. And even when it comes to group ventures, right? Working out together.
Right.
What happens when one dude don't show up?
Keep going.
Do we get mad or do we encourage?
We encourage. Definitely
encourage.
That's what we're supposed to.
By way of calling you out.
Oh yeah, by way of calling you out.
Right.
But we definitely encourage. We definitely encourage.
But how do you know the level of sensitivity of that individual? Right? We've had situations on here on BOL.
We
right?
don't care.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, but we say
I mean,
that.
I hear you. I'm listening.
But that's because you've established a relationship.
Well, yeah, that too.
What about the new guy coming in that doesn't have it like that with you guys?
Oh, right. Oh, of course. I feel
yeah. You know,
right. But that's why we can't be governed by those things, man.
Right.
You know, we have to encourage one another. The
right
Bible says, provoke one another unto good works.
You know,
and sometimes provocation can be a little tender, but you have to be strong enough to be able to handle that. Constructive criticism, constructive encouragement.
Definitely.
But we live in a very sensitive world today.
We do. Mm-hmm. He said we have.
And I'm hard on people. I stay in trouble
for other performance, right?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's more so just remembering to be true to you.
Yeah.
Right. And whatever like your goals are, what you want to be consistent and develop that habit. You know, in order to be successful to be true to you, stay true to your goals, and then the other people outside will see that. You know, like people know that. Like my brother calls me everybody's big brother, right? He's like, Larry, you're everybody's big brother, and you know, and he was like, he's like, that's just you, that's just who you are, and you know, I thought I slowed down, but somebody said to me yesterday, "Wow, Larry, you're doing a whole lot of things." I'm like, I don't think I'm doing a lot. I'm going a lot slower. But my wife always says you need to sit your tail down, right? But apparently, this is my truth. My truth is I'm a helper, and I like to do things, be active. I always take up a cause, and this beard is a result of a cause, right? The Live Core Fitness. No, she put me out there again. The Live Core Fitness. It came from, you know, that again. It came from. There was a cause. What was the cause? COVID hit.
Right.
I
seen that the scale was going in the wrong direction, so I went downstairs and started jumping up and down. You know, I like coaching youth sports. I love coaching youth sports. Wow. You know, and people say, I don't know how you do that. Like the weekend's supposed to be your free time to go out and do this, that, and the third, right? But you know, this is me giving back. You know, people poured into me, and I want to pour back. So pour back into the youth, right? So at the end of the day, whatever it is, you want to be consistent in who you are,
right?
You know, make sure it's centered around your truth, and you'll be successful.
That's good.
And your success is not measured. Like I can't measure my success based on what my neighbor is doing.
Right.
Yep.
Right. I have to base my success on where I was yesterday.
Right.
That's my only measurement.
Yeah.
If I have improved from yesterday's version of me, then I'm moving in the right direction. The greatest mistake that you can make is trying to compare yourself to other people and where they are. I think there's healthy comparisons and there are unhealthy comparisons. But the greatest comparison is me versus yesterday's version of me.
Right.
That's the best thing you can do.
And with the workouts, AD, what was one of the things I said last week? I was like, take a picture of yourself. I didn't say I'm gonna send a picture of me to you, and I showed I was like here's my story before when my fitness journey. I was looking like the Kool-Aid man. I had a maroon shirt on, right? Oh, yeah. But wearing that same shirt, you saw 3 different Larrys, right? Yeah. You know, Kool-Aid man to the day, and that shirt is too big. You got your dad's shirt on, so you know, so it's centered around you. It's you know, take that picture of yourself from day one. Not necessarily the physical picture of how you look, but where you're trying to get to. Compare what you did. Yes, you know, see your progress from yesterday to today. You know, seeing how you did it, and if you didn't quite get there, okay, got the next day to do it again.
Right.
Got the next day to do it again. Now you're pursuing it. And they're like, all right, you make the adjustments again to creating that basic plan that with the attainable goals, and then at the end of the day, you start to figure it out. Like maybe trying to walk. they'll start to try to crawl. They'll face plant. They get it again. Next thing you know, they're trying to walk. You see them doing a little rock thing here, take a step, and they go back to the crawl. They revert backwards. It's like, let's try this again. The next thing you know, they back on their feet. And then next thing they walking, and before you know it, now they running. It's like, dang, why not just do that kid in the crib? But it's a whole other story.
But you know what's funny though, Larry? What you just said. You know what's the craziest thing about that analogy you just gave about babies is if a baby starts to do something and they face plant, isn't it amazing how they look up to see if you saw them?
Yeah.
Right. And they cry or don't cry based on your reaction.
Right.
Right. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So they are moved by your reaction.
Right.
If there's no reaction from you, they go ahead and keep doing what they're doing.
Right.
That is one of the greatest things I've ever seen in babies. Right. So what I did is I learned to not react on the negative, but just react on the positive. Do something good, it's always a celebration. Do something bad, no reaction, because it teaches you to get up and do it again.
That's good. This is a good question.
Babies know that.
She says, if you're always taking up causes, how do you balance it all? Husband, father, work life, and extras.
Guys don't balance, they just do.
Well, again, back to I don't try to.
That's part of the problem. We just
I come up with a game plan of what I can do. Okay. I don't try to do everything at the highest level. Like, okay, where I started out with No Shade November, it was first, why was I doing it? Right. I had people around me that were battling cancer. Either they won the fight or they lost the fight, but I watched them in the fight. Right. And during that fight that they had no choice but to deal with it. So for me, I was like, oh, growing a beard, for about a month or maybe 2 months, so it just look as patchy. Then I get to shave it. I could not shave for a whole month of November because it was easier for me to do. And I started doing that. Now let me add in the fundraising part with it. So I took those baby steps. But again, whatever the cause is, I remember why the cause is for, and then I come up with a plan that I can do. That way, I'm not juggling too much or bouncing too much. Make it all work out in cycles or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I know it can be a lot. But the thing is, I won't take up a cause if things don't happen to me or around me anymore. Like I stopped watching sports and ESPN, and my wife would tell you I love the NFL. I used to get the what is it called?
You're on camera, right?
but I would do it, and then the whole knee, taking a knee thing and the Colin Kaepernick thing, and I was like, forget the NFL, cut that off. The ESPN, they were doing a whole other thing. Stephen A is on my hit list, and he started, and I said, no more, right? But here, that was, and I just had to stop. I cut it out, right? Because of the whole Black Lives Matter movement, and it was enough for me. I was getting tired of seeing the players on the court. They'll say one thing, and the next thing they're back on the court the next day, or they're wearing T-shirts that has somebody's name on there. Well, I'm tired of learning people's names and then seeing on a T-shirt at half court. I'm like, that's not doing anything. They're reminding us this, but we're watching this case, and I don't like the outcome. So what I do, and again, it's not hurting the NBA or the other things anyway. But snippety snip, I cut it out, and so some of my causes are passive causes as well, right? But it's like
passive cause. I got you. I got you.
I was like, hey, they're out of it, So yeah,
I think and I don't know what Sam was getting at. She just we could take up a lot of causes. A lot of things happening around us. I think it's, but we always stick to I feel like at least we default back to our priorities: husband, father, work, because these things are the foundation of our households. and you can't save the world. I mean, I think that's the hardest thing as a man to realize. I can't save the world. I can only help as much as I can help. And you just try not to be so spread out to the detriment of your family. What's up, big old horse? Cooper in the building. My podcast people did. Pastor has a dog that is as big as a horse, and if she
he just has to be up here, man.
He just wanted to be up here. He's like, you know what? It's my time. It's my time. What you need to say to people, Cooper? Because if you speak, it becomes your show. It is your show. we all get on camera. Yep. Speak it to the mic. It's it all. Is
it a golden doodle?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's trying to find that balance, because things are always happening around us. And some stuff you can't ignore. You try to help and assist and be a part, and like Larry said, certain things are passive causes, like I'm just gonna stop doing this or supporting this or put my money here, instead of here, I'm gonna put it here. Like I still gotta have that or that service or that something, but instead of going this way, I'm gonna go this way with that. So I think it's just trying to balance out the causes that don't take everything away from the family. He said, what? That's one that State Farm, the State Fair throwing ping pong balls. So yeah, I think that's big, but the consistency, staying on task, staying focused, not doing too much, being realistic with your goals. I think that being realistic with your goals and not comparing to others is huge. Appreciate you, Ephraim. Looking forward to having you back on the other side. What up, ED?
Yeah.
Let's see. We get a little intense. I mean, I'm not sure.
I'm saying, yeah. We still passive. We hype, Yeah.
Yeah. I ain't watching that no more. Get that.
I'm not watching Lifetime either. Don't put that Lifetime network on either. I'm not doing that in place.
But he said me and you should have on podcast about this. I think she's talking to Sam. Don't do that, Miss Banks. We don't need those kind of collaborations happening. That's what we don't need happening.
Why our husbands do it the most, but they still don't put the trash out. At least we
I ain't got time for that.
We consistent.
Right, we consistent.
At least you know what you're working with.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
Man, there it goes.
I don't already know. Sisters of the Legacy is back Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys check it out. And I guess Miss Banks will be on there at some point. All right. So
what just happened?
So listen, we appreciate you guys for being here, rocking with us. Another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. I know I have. I love having these conversations. I love this platform. Even, there are times where I'm just like, is this gonna be a good show? Is this gonna be a good topic? Am I gonna lose my folks? Is Brian gonna look at me like, why are we talking about this?
Yo,
what are we talking about? And he was like, oh, here we go with the long soliloquy. But I love it. And my brothers hold me accountable. They're here, which pushes me to be here. Even when I have my days when I'm just like, when it gets a little rough, I'm like, I gotta be here. Mama Corey's gonna call me. She gonna call Brian and be like, hey, where your boy at?
I got the text this morning. Where are you?
Oh wow.
Yeah, accountability, man. Straight from mama.
He said, look, Jeff said, yeah, E, get back here. These boys going off the tracks. You got to come straighten them out. Appreciate your Mama Corey. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.
Yes.
Tomorrow is Thursday. I don't know. And I keep saying it. I don't know what you can do about it. but I feel like time is going incredibly fast.
It's because you're old.
It's probably why. But you're older, so it's quick. It's even faster for you. Yes. So I thank you guys for being here.
You know what? I don't need you to do it. I could do it myself this time.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. I appreciate you guys for all the support. He said on that note, right? He said on that note, thank you and good night. All right, so we look forward to seeing you. Stay safe, make good choices. I didn't even, I could use that for tomorrow's topic.
Do it.
No, we're gonna. It's about fear and getting over that, and the challenge I faced yesterday. And I did pretty good with it. I got 10 minutes.
You know, I'm a preacher. There's always a long close.
Right. I'm only on my second close. This is my second close. I got one more. You know what? I'll tell you a quick story. Well, half story, then another story. First time I fell for I'm almost through. I was like, it's been 15 minutes in. You almost through. I fell for it. I'm like, oh, we almost through. Like 15 minutes later, like, oh, this Negro just set me up. Set me up. So I was having some situations with my car, and I probably expressed a little bit, and I've been walking to work, working to transportation services, aka the bus, for a few days. And yesterday I was walking there, and so every day I walk, and there's like behind one of the houses, there's like a group of dogs, and they're like certain sizes. I guess some puppies, some big ones, and they do what they do. They run to the gate, and I see them do what they do, run to the gate. Minnie Cujo, I see her jump, and I was like, okay, she jumped. Did the paws on the top of the fence with the other hind legs holding up on the fence. I said, she's about to come over. And sure enough, boop, boop, boop. And she did the paws like, hey, son. I was like, let's pause there for a moment. I have a kind of fear of dogs. I've never really been in favor of dogs, really like dogs. And I have too. I've gotten a little better because I've had them for a while. Shout out to the wife. So I was like thinking, I'm tired because I've already walked quite a bit, just to get to this point. Yeah, we ain't about to run. I was like, and we're in like a country-like neighborhood street. There's a sidewalk, thank God, but there's not enough cars, to kind of just go across the street to get away from the dog. So this dog starts charging. I was like, all right, I got a book bag. I put the book bag in front of me, and I backed up. And so I was like, I went back, going backwards. And I was like, there's no other way to go. I can go down this street, and it's going to probably be the same situation. So I decided I'm going to have to face this dog. And this is like cool. I think it was a pit, and it had the pit, sharp looking teeth, barking, and I'm shook. So I just grabbed the stick. I was like, well, it's going to be just me and this dog then. So thank God, the dog really wasn't about that life. I mean, it charged me. It came like hard. I'm like, shit, is she going to stop? Or is she going to jump? But she stopped. And, with the barking, I pulled I had my bag up. I had the stick because I was like, if I could just get her to fight with the bag and just smack her with the stick, she'll stop. And thank God. And then get that bag. But when I realized, real quick, and we'll dig into it tomorrow, is just facing those fears. When you have to make a choice. Because I could have went back, try to walk another mile and a half, a whole nother way.
Fear or flight.
Right. Fear of flight. So want y'all to think about that. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow, Thursday, Thankful Thursday. All right, we're gonna talk about situations. I know all of us have had those moments where should I change my mind or should I go ahead with this? Should I go through this? All right. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. Oh, hopping back and forth. I went on YouTube and was on something 20 minutes ago. Yeah, the delay. You got the delay. Plus, you got to speed up on YouTube if you stop. It's a lot.
I was wondering where that comment was coming from. I probably Jeff. I'm like, Jeff went all the way back. Right?
I was like, man, I don't know what I said. Oh, he said good one. I was like,
what? Like a real delayed response, Jeff. Okay. Right. Stay with us, buddy. Stay with us.
Stay with us. Stay with us. All right. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Be safe. Make good choices. Know that we love you. Jesus loves you better. He said it's all messed up. Also, if you or someone you love is having a mental health crisis, dial 988-988. You'll get a professional on the phone, as well as someone will come out and help de-escalate a situation. All right, so we see you tomorrow. Say good choices, all that, and then some. I need a closing line, right? I'm usually the master of a closing line, but I've never come up with a good.
You have a closing line. It works every time. Today you just messed it up.
Did I mess
your close is your close, and it works. But today it was disheveled.
It's a little dish. I think the dog got me shook again.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. But it works. You're good with your clothes, man. Go back to your
Black
normal clothes and you're fine. Goodbye, Black Santa.
Who's Black Santa?
Hey guys, take care.
If your hat was red, oh man,
right?
I'm gonna wear it right. with the lights.
My problem is, how come yours isn't as gray as mine?
So I was asking somebody this one. Notice the hair closer to my face is black, and the hair further away is gray.
Right?
Should it be the other way around? Right? Black. So black I grow black, and I turn gray.
It's reversing. The black is coming back. That's what the black is coming back.
It's gonna be that false hope. Like,
right. You growing black hair. Look at that.
I grow black hair again. Like, what's going on here?
Hey, you see how we extended that close?
I see that.
We sure did.
We're almost through. I got.
I got more stress. That's funny.
Peace out.